Yeah, I felt something. So the last time I made a video about murder drones, I talked about how the show uses its dialogue to effectively show character development. And you guys seem to like it, so today I decided to do a follow-up video and continue to expand on the different ways that this show's writing is so good at character and plot development. So let's get into it. They say that to have good writing, you should show, not tell. In other words, treat your audience like actual intelligent human beings and don't spell everything out for them. Allow the audience to pick up on context clues and small details and let them use their imaginations to fill in the gaps. This creates a much better experience for the viewer because not only do you feel respected for not being treated like a stupid idiot,
Hey, stupid idiot,
but it has the added bonus of keeping you more engaged with the story as you try to put the pieces of the puzzle together. And you might not get all the pieces right away, which makes subsequent viewing even more rewarding as you notice more and more with each new rewatch. Murder Drones does an excellent job of this, dropping little hints of both lore and character moments, often in the background or away from the main action where it might go unnoticed the first time. But later, you'll see it and go, "Oh, I missed that." This made rewatching the show so rewarding for me as my eyes were free to wander to different parts of the screen and pick up on these little details that I hadn't noticed before. Now, obviously, I can't go through every example that there is in the show because that would take hours, but I will point out a few to demonstrate how Murder Drones uses these details for both world building as well as slipping in some cute character moments for funsies. Throughout the series, there are multiple little hints about where the plot is going that kind of fly under the radar at first if you're not paying close attention. For example, in the pilot episode following the battle between Uzi and N versus J and V, Uzi briefly collapses. Her face monitor thingy flashes some kind of error message, and at the end of the episode we see the Absolute Solver icon flash over her eye. This is the first instance where we see that Uzi is infected with the Absolute Solver, which, as we have come to find out, is basically the main antagonizing force of the series. I mean, just look at how it's teased right away in the opening logo. Also, at the end of episode 1, just before we cut to the credits, we see 3 spaceships incoming onto Copper 9. This ended up being the ships that Tessa and the clone Jay came on. They don't even arrive until the end of episode 3, yet we're teased with them already in episode 1. Both of these moments in episode 1, the flashes of the Absolute Solver symbol and the shot of the incoming spaceships, take up only a few seconds total, yet they offer tantalizing hints of what this series is going to be all about. And by not giving any more context than this, it leaves us, the audience, speculating and wanting to find out more, which is exactly what you want out of a pilot episode. And we're not even done speculating over these things, because if Tessa and Jay came with 3 spaceships, then who's on the 3rd? We're 6 episodes in at the time of recording, and we still don't know the answer to this question, making this some long game foreshadowing that I am absolutely here for. So, if the plot is like the ingredients that make the pizza, the lore is the cheese that holds it all together. Yeah, that was a terrible analogy. I should not keep it in the video, but I'm going to anyway because that's the best that I can come up with at the moment. Anyway, throughout Murder Drones, there are a bunch of little hints at lore, often shown as little strings of code that people who are smarter at technology than I am can decipher. I'm not going to pretend that I would be able to do a deep dive into this kind of topic because when I see this stuff, I usually don't know what to make of it until someone else explains it for me. But I can point out where to look. Anytime we see some old documents or lines of code displayed on a computer screen, these are pretty good places to scrutinize if you want to learn more about Murder Drones lore. For a basic example, we learn from the Zombie Drones VHS tape, because apparently we're still using VHS in the 31st century, that if drones are not disassembled properly, there is a possibility that they will reactivate as corrupted AI and cause all kinds of problems. And wouldn't you know it, the humans were improperly destroying their drones willy-nilly, which led to eventually one of them reawakening with the Absolute Solver, which led to the destruction of Earth, and potentially the universe. Oh no, it's the consequences of our own actions. God, you gotta love humans and our innate proclivity to constantly try and destroy ourselves. A great way to make your characters feel real and vibrant is to have them continue to be active even when they are not the main focus of attention, and not just power down whenever they're not directly contributing to the plot. For examples of this in Murder Drones, all you have to do is look up Uzi and N being in love compilations. These two are always interacting with each other on the sidelines, and while this does somewhat contribute to their romantic plotline, it's not like these background moments are needed for that to work, but they do enhance it. There's also V's salute as she is sacrificing herself at the end of episode 6. While this character moment is technically part of the main action going on screen, it is kind of a callback to earlier moments and is an example of good body language writing. To salute someone is to say, "I am at your service." Throughout the show, we see N saluting people all the time, which tells us a lot about his character, that he is always looking out for others, and V doing the same thing here reminds us of N's selflessness now being applied to V. A fitting gesture for her as she takes this huge step in her character arc by making the ultimate sacrifice for her friends. Of course, pretty much all of the characters in Murder Drones have their own little moments as well that complement the main story. Remember that dude that Uzi set his head on fire that one time? Yep, his head is still on fire. I really just love it when a series has this ADHD level of focus on minor continuity points. That's when you know that the creative team behind a project really cares. And it's all of these types of show don't tell moments that really help flesh out the world of Murder Drones, for lack of a better term. Robots don't have flesh, do they? Anyhow, it is yet another way that Murder Drones shines as an example of superb writing. Well, that will be all for today. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you want to. Good night.